No matter how hard you try, there's absolutely nothing you can do to prepare yourself when it's time to say your final goodbye. His Three Daughters is a Netflix original written and directed by Azazel Jacobs, who's done television and projects like French Exit and The Lovers. Check out his IMDb page for the full list of his work. This stars Carrie Coon, Natasha Lyonne, and Elizabeth Olsen, touring in 3 terrific performances, has 3 estranged sisters that gather at the New York City apartment that their father resides in to basically see him off because he's in hospice care. He wanted to pass away in his place of residence, surrounded by his loved ones, and even though they're estranged sisters, estranged daughters, in a film called His Three Daughters, surely you jest with such an on-the-nose title, basically these 3 women are bound and determined to make it work, do what they can to make his passing peaceful, share memories, hopefully repair the strains on their particular relationships, and come together when their father is at his biggest time of need, and then finding out just how much they actually need from each other. So this film received quite a bit of attention on the film festival circuit and got a limited theatrical run. I didn't get around to it in theaters. I was disappointed, but time got away from me. Unfortunately, it dropped on Netflix just today. And since I heard a lot about it, I decided to check it out. And I'm going to say right now that if you have dealt with any particular loss, the loss of a parent or loss of a close blood relative, this really could probably hit you a whole lot quicker than, it might for anyone else. At least that's what I wanted to say. Made about halfway through before I started breaking goddamn down because, this movie's a fucking gut punch and a half. Even though you know the end's coming, the fact that it still happens, truly nothing can prepare you when the unfortunate, inevitable passing of time and passing of life occurs. And I do have to praise once again, Carrie Coon is terrific as Katie. She's kind of the headstrong leader, so to speak. She has a strained relationship with her daughter. That's revealed a little bit later on. Rachel, Natasha Lyonne, lives with the father, betting, smoking weed, doing kinds of, things and everything, and trying to handle the grief in her own way. And then you have Christina, played by Elizabeth Olsen, who has a kid, has her own dreams, and is trying to be like the voice of reason, so to speak. And then we just see these, we just see these relationships gradually kind of, they just start to come apart. They start to, it takes time. It takes a lot of time because when you have, an estranged relationship with a relative and this happens, there's always questions like, what could you have done? Could you have done things better? I wish that things had gone differently here. And sometimes you interpret situations and realize that your interpretation wasn't actually accurate. And it's really just played out beautifully with 3 terrific performances. It's hard to pick really the best one. Natasha Lyonne probably was, I would say, just a little bit, the one that was most surprising. Not that Natasha Lyonne isn't a terrific actress, but she was perfect as the pain, daughter that's just trying to deal with it in her own way, but everybody's just trying to deal with it in their own way. And there's just enough of a story here to where you really can see the pain on everybody's face. And I said I wasn't going to crack during this review like I did during My Old Ass, which is another movie you should check out that has to do with loss in a darkly comedic fashion. And there are some dark comedy moments. But this basically takes place in the apartment to the point you could practically, recognize the wall textures and probably draw them yourselves if you wanted. There are a few scenes outside, like when Rachel's smoking weed, and then there's a security guard, Victor, that's trying to warn her not to smoke weed outside, even though it's legal. And it's just the fact that, for so much of the movie, you just see the room that they go into to visit their dad. It's because he's hooked up to all these machines and everything, and just the pain on their face, like the fact that, you don't want your family member to suffer, but one more time with them. I said I wasn't going to crack during this. I said I wasn't going to fucking crack during this. God damn it. Oh, yeah, this is a tough movie, but it's a great movie. I absolutely see why people praise this thing like crazy. And there's even a side character, Benji, that Rachel knows. We get Christina talking to her daughter back home because she's far away. We get Katie talking to her daughter also. We get these little bits of information, and then we just get some great monologue scenes where, yeah, it's like a play and everything, where they're just acting out this stuff, and really besides the star power, I can't imagine the film probably cost all that much. But we find out just how much the dad meant to all of them and everything. And there is one particular scene halfway through about where they do a bunch of revealing stuff, and it's just absolutely, it's tremendous acting. It's really incredible acting. And it's great stuff, and you need to check it out. I'm going to get into spoilers and rush through this because I'm afraid I'm going to break down again. But it's on Netflix. 3 terrific performances. Even the supporting performances are really goddamn good. But Katie, Natasha, and Elizabeth really carry this. And this is the kind of movie that just reminds you of what you can do when you get 3 talented actresses like this to just let them turn loose. Yeah, it starts off as low key, but it really just heats up, and then when the inevitable does happen, yeah, it fucking hurts. It really fucking hurts. Anyway, I'm gonna get into spoilers. This is on Netflix. You want to check it out? 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, yeah, Rachel has been living in the apartment this whole time, does betting, smokes weed, stuff like that. And it turns out that the dad had, the mother passed, Katie and Christina's mother. And then Rachel was not a blood relative, but she didn't know her dad. He raised her like his own. Said I wasn't going to crack, and I don't know why this got me, because I've always had a good relationship with my parents, but I know people that have come from broken homes, shall we say, and found the proper, parental figure, whether by blood or not. But, Rachel doesn't necessarily want to just be in there all the time in the room, and kind of, is standoffish a little bit, and part of that is due to the fact that this man who raised her is going to pass. And it's not easy to grasp that shit. It's really not. It's a guy, Benji, who got to know Vincent, the dad, over the years. And he's a friend, pseudo boyfriend, I guess, of Rachel. But yeah, there's just parts in this where they're sharing stuff, and they open up, like this particular scene where they're all sitting down on various pieces of furniture. The stuff with Rachel was really good. That was really good shit. And yeah, the mother dying affected everyone. I mean, that's probably why Vincent, one of his requests was maybe that his daughters all come together, and why they felt the need to, because he didn't have anybody. I mean, yes, he had Rachel, but all of them coming together made the most sense. There was also this overlying thing about a DNR form that the dad wanted to sign, because I believe it was Katie that told a story about how, mother got resuscitated, like she's just being brought back from an Egyptian tomb, but got resuscitated. Goddamn, she got brought back to life. There we go. I'm trying here. I'm sorry, guys, but she basically ended up having all her ribs broken because of the compressions of brittle bones, that kind of stuff. And there's this guy, Angel. I do want to shout that character. Pretty good character there. He's the guy that's working with hospice and stuff like that. The time could be now. Katie's been writing the obituary. Rachel weighs in on it, talking about all the stuff that he did, and Christina did. Christina talks about a time when they saw a movie and a character dying, and that's not how it actually ends up playing out in real life. And then there's the ending, where basically oh, we can bring Dad out of his, room even though he's confined to a bed. He wants to be in a wheelchair, and that's pretty much his last, wish. So he's sitting in a chair. He starts regaling them. He throws the equipment away and starts talking about all this stuff. And he talks about how Rachel was this. Rachel was really sad when they both left. And they need each other. They'll need each other after he passes. He apologizes to Christina for maybe not being there, when the mother passed. Not being there as much. Saying, oh, she thought it was okay, or she thought she was okay, but she wasn't. Yeah. And now, God damn it, I can't even see my notes. He talks about an old flame named Bliss. Somebody that was Irish, who was from Queens when he was working for the Coast Guard. And they grew apart, but they would see each other, like, in passing. Like, sometimes, like, you remember me? Yeah, you remember me. I remember you, this kind of stuff. And maybe he should have expressed himself better, and he's doing all this. It's like what he wanted to say before he passed. And he does. And then Elizabeth Olsen is talking about the 5 little ducks going over the hill far away. 4 come back. 4 go out. 3 come back. So on. And then the mother duck goes out, and then the daddy duck says beep, beep, beep. Basically Rachel's way of kind of adding humor to the situation. There you go. All right. Okay, I need to watch something. I mean, great as it was, I don't know if I can watch this again. A+. Yeah. I'm not saying it's the most wholly original movie, by the way, because plenty of films dealt with loss and stuff like that. Even 18 Presidents, which I can't think about now because I'll bawl. Great shit. It's really, really good. Great performances. Elizabeth, Natasha, and Katie. All delivering great performances, even, by the dad. You'll recognize him. He's a good character actor. Yeah, great shit, A+. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Reckland. I'll see you soon.